Welcome to Mission Control. I am Lakshmi Baker. Here's what we have in store for you on India. Dino travels all the way to the States to do the legendary Route 66 with Harley Davidson. Then, ever wanted to race? Here's racing for the masses in S&F. Next, a tip or two for you to keep your interiors pristine with Maguire's. And lastly, we go to the car haven in Sunway, Deconstructed. Have a blast.
A pilgrimage is something reserved for the true believer. It is a requirement that needs fulfilling for many reasons, one of which is self-validation. And for a bunch of hardcore Harley-Davidson owners from Malaysia, one such pilgrimage is to the home of the big HD itself, the United States of America. The group was relatively small, made up of 10 riders and 8 motorcycles and a small crew. The bikes too were a good mix of gorgeous, shiny, rented machines. We had a Heritage Softail, Road Kings, a couple of Electroglides and Street Glides too. The journey that we were undertaking would cover a distance of approximately 1,060 kilometers. We started in Los Angeles and headed via the interstate to the little casino town of Laughlin, Nevada. From there, and staying in the state, we headed to Showtime and Casino Haven, Las Vegas, before making the return journey to Los Angeles. It didn't take long to discover that this ride was the definitive moment that would separate the posers from the hardcore. As a beautiful American summer morning bowed out to make way for the afternoon, the sun made its presence felt. The temperature rose to 125 degrees Fahrenheit. But hot as it may be, that did not stop us from hitting our first wow moment when we pulled off the interstate and onto a small, unassuming road with a road sign that says Route 66. Now this is truly stuff legends are made of. This was, at the time of its inception in 1926, the Main Street of America. Starting in Chicago, Illinois, it reached across 2,448 miles, 3 time zones, and 8 states before ending in Santa Monica, California. It's probably the most famous road in America, thanks to being featured in pop culture. Suffice to say, we were just happy to be able to snap some shots with what's been painted on the tarmac. As we moved along, we hit another icon in pop culture that seems to have found a sweet spot in the hearts of riders young and old, the Baghdad Cafe.
Welcome to Baghdad Cafe. This cafe was built in 1953. It was called the Sidewinder back then. But when the movie was made, it was called the Sidewinder. Baghdad Cafe movie called Sidewinder. The new owner now, Andre Pruitt, she's all these pictures right here. She's bought it in 1995 and she named it the Baghdad Cafe. And then this way it brought a lot of tour companies to come by, and she got them to come by here on the way to Las Vegas and Laughlin. A lot of people from France. 75% of our customers are French. 20% the rest of the world, and 5% Americans.
5% American?
Yeah, the movie was made in '87, came out in 1988.
Right, okay. As the day pressed on, we got back onto the bikes and headed for Laughlin. The last leg was most definitely the biggest challenge, as it got so hot that it was painful to even touch your skin. But things come to those who persevere. As we made the descent from the top of Spirit Mountain, we saw a glistening image of a town with white buildings next to a sparkling body of water. Any longer in the sun and we would probably have thought it was a mirage, but indeed it was an oasis. Now, as exciting as Laughlin promises to be, with the cool waters of the Colorado River looking as inviting as ever, the group was just too drained out by the heat, each retiring to their respective rooms and only emerging at dinner time. Now, breakfast is always done in true Harley style, from the back of a van. The spread may be simple, but the spirit is great. Fearing for another scorcher of a day, we pushed off again to head to Sin City itself, Las Vegas. Now, Harley-Davidson may make excellent bikes, but the ownership experience also includes having a lifestyle and wardrobe to suit it. So naturally, the first stop that we had as we pulled into the city was the Harley dealership there, so the group could do a spot of shopping. My cameraman and I took this opportunity to get to know what the Harley-Davidson guys in the US get up to.
Well, this is Las Vegas Harley-Davidson. We service the Las Vegas community. People, they get into the lifestyle of riding motorcycles, and that's why they come in and visit us. It's just not about, you know, buying the t-shirts or wearing the t-shirts. It's also about riding and getting into it and being free to ride motorcycles. There is an average, I guess, of the type of customer that comes in our store. We are seeing now the way everything's expanding. We have a lot more women riding than we used to be riding. There's a lot more younger riders than we used to have. The older rider is still your core base Harley-Davidson rider, which is probably 45 to 65 years old, but that's expanding. So there's not typically an average rider or average customer. Hopefully that we're going beyond those and pulling other people into our dealership and into riding motorcycles altogether. So there's not really an average type thing per se. They're just all enthusiasts that love Harleys.
Credit cards swiped and smiles all around rode into town. Las Vegas is truly a city built around fun and enjoyment, with many establishments leaping out straight from the movies. And of course, a major attraction to the group would be the Harley-Davidson Cafe, where we had lunch. More shopping opportunities, but also to be able to oogle at the beautiful Harleys as they are paraded around the cafe, hanging from the ceiling nonetheless. The food was hearty and good, served in the usual Giants portion. Well, at least for us Asians lah. As night fell, we went down to the streets to get to know Vegas a little more intimately.
We are professional musicians who essentially got tired of the lounge scene here in Las Vegas. What happens here in Las Vegas is, if you're too dynamic an act, they want you to water it down so that people can remain on the machines.
Right.
So it's hard for true musicians and true artists to get work. So much like all of the artists that have gone and left town, we decided to go to the streets.
Vegas, definitely as glitzy and as glam as it has been made out to be. The final part of this ride is going to take us back to Los Angeles. Having refreshed and entertained in Vegas, the trip back to LA was uneventful, just smooth riding under the wide American sky, sharing the road with Peterbilts of today and the recent yesteryears, and not forgetting the occasional Mustangs, Camaros and Challengers.